Hey class, Brother Justin here. This is a whiteboard follow-up from our conversation we had on Sunday. Thinking about how do we identify true Christians and true Christian denominations. Say you're traveling and you're at a hotel and there's only a couple churches in the little town you're staying in. How do you identify whether or not you should go to that church or not? You go online and you look at their belief, their Doctrines page or what we believe page, and you find out what they believe. So how can you know whether or not that's a church you can attend and fellowship with? Well, this is a good way of doing that. This is a helpful tool to identify those most crucial matters. In this red center here is our core doctrines, our absolutes, our non-negotiables, if you will. And so things like who God is, who Jesus Christ is, I put that under the doctrine of God. How a person can be saved. Are we saved by grace through faith in Jesus Christ alone, or do we add works to it to some degree? How is a person saved? And I would add the scriptures. What scriptures do they hold? For example, real quick, Jehovah's Witnesses have that watchtower material. Functionally, it's above Scripture, so that's not good. The Mormon Church, the Latter-day Saints, they hold to the Pearl of Great Price, the Book of Mormon, the Pearl of Great Price, the Covenants and Doctrines. Functionally, they are above the Scriptures. Well, we as Christian Baptists, for example, we have the Baptist Faith and Message, but that's just a guidebook for doctrine. The Scriptures, the Holy Scriptures, Old and New Testaments, are what we believe. So these are our core doctrines, core beliefs that identify what all believers of all time, everywhere, should believe. And if there's divergence there, then we probably shouldn't be attending those fellowships and those churches. They're not true churches. If we expand the circle a little bit, well, we have convictions here. And these are very strong Baptist convictions that I've put. What we believe about baptism. Baptists believe in baptism by immersion. Believer's baptism, that you're not saved by being baptized, but that you're saved before you're baptized, and then your baptism is a sign that you are saved, that you do believe. It's an act of obedience. The Lord's Supper, for example, is another one. We don't believe that there's an actual infusion of grace, that this work that we do, this ritual that we do, somehow adds salvation, merit to our lives. We don't believe that. We believe it is a memorial meal. These are convictions that we hold as Baptists. But we can still attend other churches when we're traveling, for example, or fellowship with believers who believe differently. And we can try to convert them to the reality of, because we know we're right? Okay. But then you expand that circle and you have what I would call debatable matters, okay? These are things we can argue about in Sunday school or in a small group, and we can disagree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? So things like end times beliefs. Christians of all denominations have a very wide range about the timing of Christ's return and what that's going to look like for us as believers in the rapture. Okay? We shouldn't disfellowship somebody because they believe differently. Translations, some like the old King James, some like new modern translations, like the New Living Translation or the English Standard Version. Okay? These are things we can debate about. And more practical matters as well. Things like alcohol consumption, the precise parameters of tithing and giving, generosity in the church. Things like gambling, for example. It's pretty hip out here. Back home, that was something that you just didn't do, you know. So those are things that are debatable. We shouldn't disfellowship somebody because of them. Then on the outer circle, we just have questions, things we just don't know, probably won't know until we're in heaven. Whether Adam and Eve had a belly button. Think about that one for a few minutes. Will there be pets in heaven? Will Fido and Spot be in heaven with us? What happens to animals when they die? Those kind of things. We just don't know. We don't know. The word doesn't say. And so they're speculative. So hopefully that has helped you identify some of those key elements to identify true believers. If you have any follow-up questions, feel free to email me, text me, give me a call. We can chat about it before, after Sunday school, or over coffee. Feel free anytime. Not that I have all the answers, but you and I can work it out together. Thanks. I hope you're having a great week. Take care.